and welcome to Talks with Shay. So today I would like to begin with reading from Psalm chapter 5 and verse 3. And it says, "My voice shall thou hear in the morning, O Lord. In the morning will I direct my prayer unto thee, and will look up." So today, for part 4 of our future, I would like to talk to you about voice. So today I have with me Tegan. Hi, Tegan.
Hi.
And so we are talking about part 3 of our future. And part 3 is about voice, having a voice. So I asked Tegan to join us today so we're able to talk about children having a voice, So we're going to talk a little bit about that and, we'll see how it goes. Okay? Okay. So when I think about a voice, I think of, I guess I would say, sometimes parents and adults have a bad habit of not allowing children to have a voice. And so what happens is it can cause other behaviors to happen. And so I just wanted Tegan to come and chat with me a little bit about something like that. And what would you say would be one reason why parents wouldn't give a child the voice?
I think that the reason that they don't let their children talk is they want to have full, like, I don't know what's the word, like authority over them. They want to like just have all the power over them, and this is what I said, can't do this, and like the child has no right over what they say.
Mm-hmm. I think of even like, I know back in the day, I'm kind of old, y'all, but, it was always, we were taught as children, you speak when spoken to, or no, because I said, and, it's things like that, and one of the things that growing up and being in school and different trainings that I've took for my job and stuff, one of the things that it talked about is giving a child a voice. Because if we don't give a child a voice as parents and as adults, those behaviors are going to come out some kind of way, somewhere, it's going to happen, or their voice may go somewhere else. And so when it goes somewhere else, it might not be healthy. So I think it's important as adults and as parents that you listen to your children. What would you say? I know you said with your mom, you're comfortable, with that. And would you tell us a little bit about that?
With my mom, I can tell her anything. Like, I feel safe with telling her anything. She gives me respect so that, I can give her respect and we can share stuff. We don't hide anything from each other.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel safe telling her, anything that I can and want.
Yeah.
So.
And I like the word that she used, safe, because you have to feel safe, right? Mm-hmm. With sharing your heart with somebody, and of course, I'm sure you do it in a respectful manner, And, sometimes kids, I know growing up, my mouth was my biggest issue, right? I remember being in Super One store, back talking my mama, and pop, I'm like, ooh, embarrassed in the store because she slapped me in front of everybody. I was sassy. Can you believe that? I can't. Oh, I mean, come on. But and I can honestly say, sometimes it was hard for me to open up to my mom. She didn't raise me. My grandmother did. But at the same sense, my grandmother was a woman of little words. She didn't say much and so kind, y'all. I never seen her angry. I never seen her mad. She never yelled, like, none of that, right? And so for me, it was hard. So I found like myself using my voice in other ways that wasn't healthy.
Yeah.
And so when you think about like your friends that you hang around with, do you think that all their parents give them a voice?
No, I don't think all of them do, because like that's why I'm like one of the people that they can talk to if their parents don't like allow them to speak, because I listen, I give everyone respect, and like they feel safe talking to me because I make you feel safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it makes it easier, right? It's easier. And so sometimes, children will not always pick out the right friends. We talked about friends last week. And, it's like if you're a person, a child that may not have the best friends in your circle, you can be letting off a lot of information to somebody that is not healthy.
Yeah.
And so it's like that is very important that as adults we give kids that chance to speak about how they feel. I think about even as an adult, and somebody don't want to hear what I have to say. I'm gonna cut up. Like we cut up, right? Because you gonna listen to what I gotta say, And so it's like, you have a job, and sometimes we can't use our voices even on our jobs. Is the boss says it, these are the policies.
Yeah.
You have to find the policies, follow these policies and stuff like that. But it's like I think about even then, sometimes they allow you on jobs to write what's called a grievance. Like if you have an issue with something, you write a grievance or you follow the chain of command. But there's a way to have a voice, and I think it's important because if you don't give a child a voice, what would you say would be the worst situation of not allowing a child to have a voice?
Like as a parent or an adult saying like, oh, well, I said so, and not giving them like a reason, because if you don't give them a reason, then they're just gonna go do it by themselves, and no telling what can happen. Now, if you give them a reason, then they can maybe find a either better solution or not do it because it can't harm them.
Right. And it's true. I know for me, I went through different stages in my life in my teenage years where I felt I didn't have a voice. So like nobody was listening to what I was feeling and what I was dealing with. So it caused me to attempt suicide. And in the midst of that, I had a lot of anger because it was like nobody wanted to hear me out. So I was going around beating up everybody, y'all. Oh my God. Fighting this one, fighting that one, because I was angry. I was upset. I didn't have a voice. Nobody wanted to listen to what I was dealing with, And even though I think now even, sometimes children have to go through counseling, And so whether you or your, friends that maybe do counseling, you do. And so, I'm 45 and I go to counseling every month, because I need a place, an outlet. And we have to give those children that outlet to be able to speak out and say what they're feeling. Their feelings are valid. Their concerns are valid. It's not about, we want our children, you think even like this thought just crossed my mind. Society today is crazy, right? All of these shootings that's going on at the schools and stuff, all because probably they didn't have a voice.
Yeah.
Somebody didn't listen to them.
And all of that inside, whenever you can't speak to somebody, it just builds up inside, and anger, sadness, depression, like it just builds up inside, and
exactly
it makes you want to do things that you have you have control over it, but
but it's overwhelming. They become overwhelmed with all of that, and so then what happened? They go in, they shooting up everybody, and it's crazy because nobody gave them their voice as a child. And so like you said, all that stuff piles up on a person, and you feel overwhelmed, especially as a young person, And for me, my grandmother raised me, so in a sense I almost felt like I didn't have a voice because my parents wasn't there. My dad wasn't there. My mom wasn't there raising me, And so it was like, it made me feel like they didn't care because nobody wanted to hear what I had to say. It was, this is how life is going to happen. Mama's going through this divorce. Daddy's going through this divorce. Just deal with it, And I was stuck to have to deal with it on my own. And it can be overwhelming, for that. And I know for me, it was very overwhelming. I didn't have a say. We don't have a say in our parents' relationships and different things like that. But we have to pay attention to the needs of children and not let their voice become silent, Allow them respectfully, and the thing is you teach them.
Yeah.
So you speak to your mom with respect, like you said earlier, because she talks to you with respect. Yeah. Exactly. And so she teach you what it's like to be respectful, say how you feel, because I look at it like delivery is key. You can say almost anything to somebody. It's about how you say it.
Yep.
Choose the right words that are kind, that's loving, but you get your point across, right? You agree?
Yeah, I agree.
She agree, y'all. And if she's agreeing, then that means it's the truth. And so when I think about, just life in general as adults, how many adults, how do we respond? You know what I'm saying? With somebody not trying to hear us out. We get frustrated. So we have to remember children have right to feel frustrated as well. And so can you remember a time like where you maybe didn't have a voice and you wish you did? Like, did it cause you to maybe feel angry or anything like that? You don't have to tell like the scenario, but what was the feelings that came with it?
I just felt really like I didn't have a purpose. Like nobody would listen to me. I didn't have no one to talk to at that time.
Right.
It just made me feel very like angry and sad and like, you know.
And that's where, if a person, sometimes children don't know what to say, how to say it. And as parents, you have to observe your child to see, is there a difference? Is something different about them? Pay attention to those signs, because they may need counsel. In certain situations, I know for me, my mom was there, when she could have been or whatever, but it's like certain things I wasn't comfortable with telling her that, I wish as a teenager I had a counselor. Now, after I attempted suicide, I was forced to go into a mental hospital or whatever, and got a counselor after that. But I wish I would have had one before that.
So you could speak to them and maybe the things wouldn't have happened.
It wouldn't have happened. Exactly. And so as a parent and as adults, we have to make sure that we pay attention to those signs and different major life events that go on in your family, and pay attention and not think they're going to be okay as children. They're going to deal with it. They're going to be okay. They may not be okay. And that's why you have to give them a voice. Find out how is it affecting them. Make them feel, like you said, safe to be able to share their heart with you. Because if you don't listen to them, somebody else will. So what is one takeaway that you would like to give these people today about giving children a voice?
One thing I would like to say is, if you don't have a parent or a friend or adult that you can't talk to, there's always someone that can talk to, like Sister Shalonda.
Oh.
And
Well, good. Find that safe person is what she's saying. You can always find somebody that's trustworthy, because everybody you can't trust. And somebody that's going to keep some of your secrets to themselves and not go blabber them out to everybody else. Because some people got too much of a voice. But anyway, I'm glad that Tegan was able to join us today. It was a pleasure having you today. And I just want to close out by saying, if you haven't already, check out my website at www.talkswithshay.org. You can subscribe to my videos on YouTube and find me on Facebook. Like my page, share my page. Invite your friends to like my page. And until next time with Talks with Shay, Shay is out. Y'all be blessed.